All right, it's 2024. It's the beginning. How do we bulletproof these promises to ourselves? How do we bulletproof our New Year's resolutions so that by the end of this year, we haven't failed ourselves? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about neuroplasticity. We're going to talk about task bracketing. We're going to talk about habit alterations. We're going to talk about willpower. We're going to talk about motivation. We're going to talk about simple questions to keep you going. And we're going to talk about how long it takes to become a habit, a new habit. These are key issues to bulletproof your New Year's resolution. So let's get going. Okay, so first off, I want you to go back to the Longevity 9. Look and see what's missing, where you need work, okay? But the key areas are sleep, change your exercise, get more exercise, nutrition, look at family part, look at relationships. Look at, these are the things that you need to be looking at to determine, okay, where am I gonna focus my time? Where am I gonna focus my energies? And what I want you to do is I want you to get wins. So don't make it about everything. Pick a couple of things that you're going to change and you're going to work on right now. And build up 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. You build up, meaning you add more stuff as you have wins. I want you to have wins. So it's got to be simple enough. It's got to be small enough where you can book a win. Okay? First 3 months, book a win. Because when you book a win, motivation goes up. Motivation doesn't come before. It comes when you have wins. That's when your motivation starts moving up. That's what we want, okay? The other thing is this. You're gonna have to know how long this process is gonna take. Guess what? It's gonna take 210 days to become a habit. So you're gonna have to recommit to these changes every day for 210 days. Now, it looks like, oh my God, this is impossible. Don't think of it that way. Think of it in the morning, just a silent thought. I am gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna be doing. And specifically list it in your mind. Make sure that the story behind it is powerful enough. Meaning that, what's your internal narrative? Why are you doing it? Why? All right? Self-love, the kids, just having a future, having your health, not wanting to be in a hospital, wanting to live more vital than ever, wanting to move more freely, or simple stuff. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, you need to specify. All right? So that because when times get tough, this needs to pull you through. So it needs to be a real one. It needs to be something you truly feel deep inside, that you're willing to do these sacrifices for and change. Okay. The other thing is just comfort trap. We love comfort. Our body, our brain wants to always go to comfort. But know this, you want to live longer, you're gonna have to introduce discomfort for a bit. It's a fake discomfort, all right? But you're gonna have to introduce it, because this is how your body reacts. Your body, your mind, everything reacts much better this way. On every level, cellular, physiological, physical, mental, everything. Your body reacts better, okay? So you're gonna have to do this. So we got to 210 days. Then we have to look at, okay, if we want to integrate this as a habit, the quickest way to do this, the most efficient way, and the way that the brain works is to start with overcoming limbic friction. This means you have to start visualizing the specific steps it takes to do that task or to do that promise to yourself. Okay? Real specific, starting with how am I gonna get ready? When am I gonna do it? What shoes am I wearing? What clothing am I wearing? Where do I have to go? What do I have to do Do I have to turn on something? Do I have to talk to someone? Whatever you have to be doing. If it's a treadmill, you visualize turning it on, visualize putting it on the right settings, visualize doing the exercise for 40 minutes. Visualize this every time before you actually do it. Okay? This is to overcome limbic friction. That's your biggest first clue. Secondly, we have to place it, whatever we want to do, high enough. Like next to taking a shower and brushing your teeth. I mean, that high up, it's got to be on your list. Truly be on your list. Because if it's not, anything can come in. Friends' parties, friends, work, you name it, can come in and you're going to just dismiss. It's going to be low on your priority list and you can do it tomorrow, whatever. No, it needs to be task bracketed high up. Okay, this is what we call task bracketing. So bring it high up. It needs to be next to brushing your teeth. This is how important. This is why going back to your narrative is so powerful, because your narrative brings it up in the task bracketing. Right here. That's where it needs to be. Okay. What's next? Gaze. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm a motorcycle rider. And not a chopper. I ride Ducatis, so you're up forward over the tank. You're going through the canyons. And you got these turns, and this is where we like, this is the zen we like, okay? And you're going through the turns, and sometimes on these canyons, you got ravines on the side, or you got trees, or you got an oncoming car coming, that's on that side. And naturally, we want to look at that danger. That's our natural instinct. You have to go against your instinct and keep your gaze firmly on the exit, firmly on where you need to be going, and your bike will follow. If your gaze turns to the negative, guess where your bike will go? The negative. This is like the best lesson in really focusing your gaze. You need to focus your gaze on, again, the results you want, where you want to get yourself to, at what level do you see yourself. That's where your gaze needs to be. That's where it needs to stay. Negative talk, move away. Get back to positive talk. So really focus on your gaze. Focus on your internal language, your internal communication, your internal. Make sure your gaze stays positive. Say thank you very much for your opinion. I'm talking to myself here, but I'll just keep looking that way. Thank you. All right. So this is a discipline you need to start having. And you need to notice it. You need to notice when you start going down that negative trail, when you start going down those negative thoughts. Change the gaze. Because like on the motorcycle, you're going to go over the cliff. All right? We don't want that. The other thing I want you to do is every day ask yourself simple questions that will get you to do something, that will get you to do your new promise, to fulfill your promise. And that is, am I going to go to the gym today? Yes or no. There's no in-between questions. It's a yes or no question. Am I going to eat healthy today? Yes or no. Okay, these are just examples, but I need you to do that. You get the picture. Yes or no questions on the task that you need to do today to keep on track. Okay? You want to write a book. Every day you told yourself you're going to write 1 hour or 2 hours. You're going to sit down and really go, am I going to write today? Yes or no? You answer that question, you're closer to doing it. These are things you need to be using. Now, here's the other thing. Habit alteration. And this is when old habits creep up. All right? You have to know yourself enough to know what your old habits are that you want to distance yourself from. Don't make it too many. Make it 2, 3, right? That are very destructive and that are not going to let you do what you set out to do this year. Take those 3, look at them. I need you to place next to those, in your mind, place next to those bad habits, something good that you really like. Anything that's not destructive. okay, that you really like doing. And then when that bad habit starts creeping up, I want you to pivot immediately, as soon as you feel it coming up. Because listen, your dopamine drop happens before, and we had a whole episode on this, it happens before you actually do the bad thing or the thing that's less healthy for you, like smoking a cigarette. I got a dopamine drop when I'm thinking about it before I actually go smoke. So I need to do something with that dopamine drop. Why? Because if I go just against it, if I just let the dopamine drop and I'm going to toughen it out, willpower doesn't work. Doesn't work long term. It's going to frustrate me and ruin the rest of my day. Okay? So don't do it with willpower. You need to pivot and let it drop into this thing that you really like. That's about the same level as this bad habit every time that bad habit creeps up. So you pivot. You got 3 habits you want to quit, you want to stop doing, pivot to that thing or those things that can replace them. Okay, so replacing the habit and pivoting, train yourself. It's going to be rusty initially, but after a while, you'll be able to do it quicker, easier, and then all of a sudden, it happens. So these are things that you really have to look at. Longevity 9. The biggest things in there are what? Nutrition, exercise. Check those out. See where you need to correct. See where you need to move into those. Or if you're not doing anything in those, start doing something. Sleep is a big one. Sleep is a big one. Without sleep, nothing else goes. Okay? We need to look at your stress levels. Is it immediate stress? Is it middle term stress, like with projects, with people, whatever? Or do you have really long-term stress that you can't even remember when that started? That needs to be treated. You need to go for treatment for that. But the middle term and short term stress, there's ways to train yourself to do it better, and there's ways to really help you with that. And we talk about that specifically in the stress episode. So go back to that one if that is your thing. So I really need you to look at this longevity 9 and really figure out, okay, where are the quadrants where I'm weak at? Let's start. Is this going to help me upgrade those? Could be that it's your ikigai, your finances, whatever. Upgrade it. Use this, what you've learned here, to be able to maintain that rigor, okay, throughout the year. And you're going to see the difference. And remember, 210 days of telling yourself, I'm going to do this. This is the changes I want to make this year. And you list them in your mind and you go through them. 210 days. Every day you commit. Every day you commit. And if you mess up a day, doesn't matter, next day you commit again. But you commit, you stay committed 210 days. Then you're bulletproofing. Okay? So let's go through them. Limbic friction, all right, which is visualization of specific steps. Task bracketing. Bring that high enough in your priority list so it is a major priority, okay? Like close to life and death. Habit alterations. When bad habits come up, what do you have? How do you pivot? Where do you go to a habit that matches it, that isn't destructive? Okay? Key. Willpower. Don't use it. All right? Motivation will come with wins. So we have to chew off what we can digest, what we can swallow. Small steps. Make sure you have wins. After every win, celebrate, move on. This gets your motivation going. It makes your motivation grow. By the end, your motivation should be full blown. And it's going to start at a very low pitch. So don't expect your motivation to push you. No, it's going to pull you once you get those wins. That's why we need those wins. That's why you need to pick 3 things initially and then upgrade them as you get those wins under your belt. Asking yourself the yes/no question every day. Am I going to do this? Yes or no? And then doing it. All right? This is what it takes. This is what it takes. 210 days. All right? And when you're eating, I'm going to give you this caveat here. When you're eating, very simple. 80% full, stop eating. You're going to be 100% full in 15 minutes. Okay, these are simple little rules. Try to eat clean 80% of the time, 20% goof off, do your thing, but 80% clean. Okay, try to drop your sugars, all right? And simple carbs, the bread, the potato, the rice, the pasta. Limit it to that 20% or less. Make sure you increase your protein intake, 1.6 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of ideal body weight. Okay, figure out what your ideal body weight is and make sure your protein is up, because you're going to need 2.5 grams of leucine to kickstart your protein synthesis to keep your muscles. Okay, super important. So your first meal should have protein, absolutely. And then the other trick is try to do a 7-hour feeding window. If you do a 7-hour feeding window, I don't have to be concerned about how much calories you eat as much. Okay, you're restricting it yourself, and you're allowing your body to rest. You're allowing your insulin, your glucose to come to a rest the rest of the time, which is very important, which we'll go through. It's one of the key factors to longevity. These are eat plenty of fiber. Fiber is key. You gotta eat your vegetables, your legumes, your beans, eat, all right? Fiber is key. Protein, fiber, these are key areas that you have to really look at. And the other thing is your gut biome. Really look at eating fermented foods during the week, a couple of times at least, because if your gut biome is destroyed, you can't digest the fiber. It won't do it. Actually bloat you, it'll make you feel bad. So if you've been through an antibiotic session, or you're on NSAIDs, or you've done major medication, whatever, assume that your gut biome is gone. So you need to supplement with pro and prebiotics for a couple of weeks. Seed is a very good company that I use personally, not sponsored by them, but this is good. So use that, then go into the fermented foods like kimchi, like sauerkraut. There's a whole list, you can look it up. And then up your fiber, okay? Because your gut health is critical for your mental health, heart health, and your complete body, your complete health, your physical health. So really, these are as short, as abbreviated as possible I could bring you, because I want you to have a success. And I know most people don't look long at videos. They hate these long things. So I've basically crammed it for you. All right? So let's see how we do. And remember, stick with me, and you're going to see and feel and know health that you've never known in your life. All right? Join me. Share this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Ring the bell notification. Let's go on. I've got huge series coming up. Amazing information, longevity, wellness, health. You got it. I'm coming with it. All right? So join me. Let's grow this channel. Let's do this. This is exciting. I love it. 2024 is going to be a kick-ass year. Let's do this. The best to you and your loved ones.